Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. I'm Evelyn and I'm here with my mom, my grandma, and my great-grandma. We're excited to talk about high school graduation ceremonies. I think graduation is such a pivotal moment, marking the end of a significant chapter and the beginning of new adventures. It's a mix of excitement, nostalgia, and a bit of nervousness for what's next. Mom, can you explain a bit more about what makes high school graduation so special? I know it's important, but I'd love to hear more about the traditions and why they matter.
Dr. Evelyn, high school graduation is a rite of passage. It's a moment that celebrates not just academic achievement, but personal growth over those formative years. Traditionally, it involves a ceremony where students wear caps and gowns, receive diplomas, and often listen to speeches from valedictorians, teachers, or guest speakers. It's a time to acknowledge the hard work students have put in, and also to reflect on the friendships and experiences that have shaped them.
I think high school graduation is crucial because it signifies a major accomplishment and sets the stage for future endeavors, whether that's college, work, or something else. It's important for students, their families, and even the community. Would you agree, Mom?
Absolutely, Evelyn. Graduation is a significant milestone for everyone involved. For students, it's the culmination of years of effort and learning. For families, it's a proud moment to see their children reach a major goal. And for the community, it represents the future generation stepping into adulthood, ready to contribute and make their mark.
Since I haven't experienced a graduation yet, I'm really curious. I imagine it must feel amazing and maybe a bit overwhelming. What was it like for you, Mom, when you graduated?
My graduation was a bit overwhelming. I remember feeling excited, but also anxious about what came next. I was the first in our family to go to college, so there was a lot of pressure to do well. I was thrilled about the opportunities ahead, but also nervous about stepping into a new environment. And Mom, how was graduation in your time?
My graduation was in the 1970s, and it was a simpler affair compared to now. We didn't have as many elaborate celebrations, but it was still a proud moment. I remember feeling ready to take on the world, even though I didn't have it all figured out. My friends and I were just excited to be done with high school and to start our next chapters. Back in my day, high school graduation was more about the ceremony and less about the fanfare. We had a basic ceremony in a school gym and our parents attended. There wasn't much in the way of parties or big celebrations. We had our diplomas handed to us and a short speech from the principal. It was the late 1970s, and we were more focused on getting jobs or going to college right away.
That's interesting, Sarah. When I graduated in the 1950s, it was even more straightforward. There wasn't much emphasis on graduation as a big event. We just had a small ceremony at the school, and then it was straight into work or family responsibilities. Many of us didn't have the opportunity to think about college. It was more about getting into the workforce to support our families. It was just after the war, so the focus was more on rebuilding and less on celebrations. If we had the kind of graduation ceremonies you have today, with the big parties and elaborate events, it might have made our accomplishments feel more significant. Back then, there wasn't much recognition for finishing high school. It was just the expected next step, not something to be celebrated in a grand way.
I agree, Mom. Having social media and all these ways to share the moment would have been amazing. In my time, we didn't even have videos or many photos. Everything was just in the moment. Today, you can relive the ceremony through videos and photos, which helps keep the memories alive and allows you to share the experience with those who couldn't be there.
Great-grandma, do you think having today's resources would have made graduation feel more significant for you?
Oh, absolutely, Evelyn. Having more recognition and a sense of celebration would have been wonderful. It might have given us more of a feeling of accomplishment and a clearer transition into the next phase of life.
And Mom, do you think having today's technology and resources would have changed your graduation experience?
Definitely. It would have been nice to have more photos and videos to look back on, and the ability to share the experience with family members who couldn't attend would have been special. Technology has made these milestones much more accessible and memorable.
I think today's graduation ceremonies are more inclusive and celebratory, but they can also be stressful with all the planning and expectations. There's a lot of pressure to have everything perfect from the ceremony to the parties. How about you, Mom? Any thoughts?
I agree, Evelyn. While the ceremonies today are more elaborate and memorable, the pressure to make everything perfect can be overwhelming. It's important to focus on the meaning behind the ceremony rather than just the event itself. But I do think today's graduates have more opportunities to celebrate their achievements and make the day special.
It's true that today's ceremonies are more elaborate. However, I feel that sometimes the simplicity of past ceremonies allowed for a more personal and meaningful experience. We didn't have as many distractions, so we could focus more on the accomplishment itself.
I see the benefits of both approaches. While today's ceremonies are more inclusive and provide more opportunities for recognition, they can also become more about the spectacle than the achievement. In our time, the simpler ceremonies helped us appreciate the milestone itself without getting caught up in the extras.
Maybe a balance is best, incorporating the recognition and celebration of today while keeping the focus on the achievements and personal significance of graduation could make the ceremonies more meaningful and less stressful.
Agreed. We should look for ways to celebrate that are meaningful but don't add unnecessary stress or pressure. Focusing on the achievement and personal growth is key.
In summary, we've talked about how high school graduation has evolved over the generations, from the simple ceremonies of great-grandma and grandma's times to the more elaborate celebrations we have today. Each has its own pros and cons. While modern ceremonies offer more opportunities for recognition and celebration, they can also add stress and pressure. Finding a balance between celebration and meaningful recognition seems to be the best approach. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your insights and experiences. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed our discussion about high school graduations and how they've changed over the years. See you next time.